Hey folks, welcome to verifiedinvesting.com. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Now, we got some crazy inflation numbers this morning, also GDP. Both of those data points were worse than expected. The markets were just about to tumble and do a major breakdown. And then we heard from the Supreme Court. The tariffs ruled illegal. The positive is the markets are rallying on the back of that because, again, without tariffs, it likely can moderate inflation. It can bring inflation down. Now, it's a whole fiasco of trying to figure out who to refund money to. That's not my problem to deal with. But what I do know is that the markets were setting up for a big down day. Now they've gotten a little bit of a reprieve by going up on the back of the Supreme Court decision. And again, just to be crystal clear here, the reason this is positive is because, again, tariffs are technically inflationary. They're a tax. And if you take that away in certain situations, it can potentially mitigate this uptick in inflation that we're seeing that was spooking the market earlier today. Let's take a look at this, guys. Take a look at this data point here. So you can see GDP coming out at 1.4%, boxed around in red, and that was worse than the forecast of 2.8%. Now, part of that is the fact that we did have a government shutdown in the fourth quarter that was quite a while. So I think part of the weakness there is because of that, but that was honestly in the forecast. So it is weaker. There's no doubt about it. Now throw in the two boxes in orange, and those are inflation month over month and year over year numbers, and they were both hotter than expected. Remember when we just recently got the CPI data and it was showing inflation down to the low 2%? No. PCE is a much broader gauge of inflation. The CPI, 30% of the CPI is housing and rent. And if those are just coming down a little, it's going to drag that whole inflation number down. The PCE data takes a wider variety of data points. It's a much better or more truthful guide to inflation. And sure enough, we're seeing inflation basically at 3% still. So again, this means less chance of Fed rate cuts, potentially an economy that's slowing. When you have an economy that's slowing with inflation going up, stagflation. And that's the boogeyman of all terms in the economic picture. Now, the positive here, and you would say, well, why aren't the markets tanking? Well, they were earlier. We gapped lower. But the mere fact that these tariffs have been ruled illegal by the Supreme Court, that is giving the market energy with a bounce to the upside because of the hopes that could actually temper future inflation, maybe even bringing some deflation in a very short amount of time just into the market and bringing those numbers in. All right, let's get into the charts here and take a look. The S&P 500 today is up just a little bit. We're up about 2/3%. Notice earlier today we were opening lower, but now we've recovered because of that decision by the Supreme Court. In addition, what do we have here? We still have our head and shoulder pattern, guys. Our head and shoulder pattern right here. And again, it has not breached the neckline. This is the neckline. So as long as that holds, this pattern is not triggering. Remember, head and shoulders are bearish patterns, but a bearish pattern doesn't matter until it triggers, just like a bullish pattern doesn't matter until it triggers. Once it triggers, that's where you get your bigger move. And in the case of this head and shoulders, you can see that would actually take us all the way down to this level around 65.50 to 65.60 on the S&P 500. In addition, look at this, guys. That same level where the target of the head and shoulders would be is right in this range. Now, how do I calculate the head and shoulders target? Very simple. What you do is you take a measurement from the high of the head, drop a plumb line down to the neckline. This is called the neckline. And then you take that same distance, and from wherever it breaks, that would be your target. So right in this range down here. And again, we can see additional support lines. I think this breaks as early as next week. I think this bounce in the markets will be short-lived. I think, again, it is a positive on the inflation side, but it doesn't cure the potential issue that we're seeing with the economy slowing per GDP, per JOLTS numbers, the challenger job cuts, even what AI is coming in, where companies like Microsoft and Meta and Amazon are starting to cut jobs due to the emergence of AI. And so ultimately, I do think the markets go lower, as you guys well know. All right. Now, how far can the markets drop? Well, this would be target number one, but ultimately it's just a stepping stone, right? We know from past analysis that I've done is that we have this trend line here, which is basically telling us that this was broken, right? So you had this market that was squeezed between these two levels, right? So again, we could see here it was getting squeezed tighter and tighter and it broke, retraced, and now it's basically rounding a top, eventually breaking down. Here's your first target, that level we just talked about. And eventually, this is your next target down here around 6,100 on the S&P. When could that target be reached? My guess is by mid-year, we should see 6,100 on the S&P. Okay, next up, let's go to the NASDAQ composite. Very similar chart here on the NASDAQ composite. You can see again, we tagged gap fill a few days ago. Today, we opened lower on that economic news, and then the tariff news helped pop the markets to the upside. All right, ultimately, this level should break, and we're eventually heading right back to this level. Okay, looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, let's take a look at that. The Dow remains stuck below this longer-term trend line here. And again, you can see how this was support over here. So you have bouncing off of it, coming in support. And then all the way here, support. And then it broke. And then what we can see is we had the big tariff sell-off. And now we're coming back, hitting. And it's just continuing to be resistance, right? And so what you're now looking for is this trend line to break. You take this trend line here on the Dow, you connect it to this low, and look, how cool is this, by the way? So basically, the Dow has not broken key support yet, but once it does, expect a bigger corrective move on the Dow, potentially taking us all the way back to 40, just under 46,000, and we're just under 50 right now. So that'll be about a $3,000 to $4,000 or a point sell-off on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. But watch this trend line. This is your big trigger, this one right here. The break point would be at approximately 49,300, a daily close with confirmation below there, and the floodgates open. Now, quickly going over a few things here. Again, some stocks are in the toilet here. As we look at Microsoft, Microsoft is on support. I actually favor a bounce. I'm long with Smart Money Stocks members in the service. We're long Microsoft right now in the money. I'm expecting a little bit more upside here and then an eventual rollover. But if this level breaks here, watch out below, folks. That would be where I would have to stop out of that position and just take the small loss because it would tumble down. Meta, the same thing. Meta's getting a good bounce today, but look at this longer term trend line here. If this trend line breaks, it's good night to Meta stocks. So there's a lot of these levels here, a lot of major stocks that are either at or near support. Here's Amazon. Amazon kissing support here, getting a bounce. But if this level breaks, it comes all the way down into this lower level. We're talking 10, 15, 20% more downside on these names. And then NVIDIA today, NVIDIA also catching a little bit of a bid. But here is your game changer on NVIDIA, this trend line right here. If we break this 172 level, that's where you get your much bigger correction to 150. Now, again, I think it's important to note, NASDAQ's broken major support, all right? The S&P's broken major support, but still holding the neckline of the head and shoulders neckline. That still has to break. The Dow, we're watching the Dow, and a lot of these stocks were at this pivotal level here. And again, do I think that this inflation data was put out and then the Supreme Court ruling was put out after? Absolutely. There's no doubt. We've been waiting for months for this Supreme Court ruling. So I think we should call a spade and say this was a coordinated effort to put out economic news that was going to be hotter on inflation, but then put out this tariff news so that it kind of captioned the inflation and said, but don't worry, the tariffs will be coming down or at least be more spread out. Even though there's still going to be some tariffs, most of them will either be reduced or go to zero. That will, again, at least in the mind of investors, bring in the inflation. So people are basically crossing out the inflation numbers today and saying no big deal because of this. So interesting how we're seeing coordinated release of data and decisions, all coordinated to kind of mitigate the bad stuff. Amazing stuff. All right, I got to get going, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please share this with friends and family. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.